In 1914, a young man sails across the sea for 67 days to reach a lonely island in the South Pacific Ocean, where he'll work as a weather watcher for a year. On the last day of the trip, the ship's captain asks what he's running away from, because that's what people asked the captain when he went to sea, but the man doesn't answer. They reach the island, and the crew helps carry his stuff to a small cabin where he'll live. He notices no birds are around, and the captain says no weather watchers came to meet them. The cabin looks old and empty, like nobody's been there for a long time, making the captain think it's not safe. He says the man shouldn't stay, but the man insists he will. Even though it's not his job, the captain helps check the area. On their way to a lighthouse they saw from far away, they find a fountain with words carved on it saying Grunner owns this fountain. The captain sends his crew back to the ship and keeps walking with the man. Soon, they reach the lighthouse, which looks roughly fixed up. Nobody answers their calls or knocks, so they break the door and go upstairs, where they find an old man sleeping. His name is Grunner, and he mumbles about going back to the sea before getting out of bed. The captain asks about the last weather watcher, who was supposed to leave with them, but Grunner says he died from a sickness and left one day, never coming back because Grunner couldn't help. The captain and crew leave, but the man still wants to stay. Before going, the captain tries to give him a gun, but he says no. After saying goodbye, he goes to the cabin to clean and set up weather tools. In a drawer, he finds a diary left by the last weather watcher and reads it by a fire. The first pages are normal, with notes about plants and animals on the island, plus a photo of a woman in a wedding dress, marked as the last watcher's wife. But then things get weird. There are notes and drawings of strange sea creatures attacking people, with a note saying J.A. Wynne used it. The next day, while checking the weather on the beach, he finds circles of stones filled with shells in the sand, too perfect to be made by nature. That night, while eating in the cabin, he hears odd sounds outside, like growling and banging on the wooden walls. He slowly goes to the door, and a monster foot appears under the gap, matching the drawings in the diary. Hearing more noises on the roof, he rushes to the basement and locks the door. Peeking through a floor crack, he sees a creature looking back and stabs it with a knife through the crack. The creatures don't leave, so he ties the door handle to the stairs and stays in the basement all night. In the morning, he goes outside and sees blood on the floor and strange footprints in the sand. He runs to the lighthouse, but the door won't open. After calling Grunner, the old man opens a window, throws water on him, and says he should have stayed on the ship. Later, the man prepares the cabin for the night, covering windows and surrounding it with wood and books soaked in lamp oil. Inside, he seals the door and loads a rifle. The creatures come, jumping at the windows and door, breaking the barriers he built. He shoots a few, but there are too many. He lights a torch with lamp oil and throws it at the wood circle, making a fire that scares the creatures away. But the cabin catches fire, forcing him to hide behind rocks on the beach as rain starts falling. The next morning, he sees the cabin burned down. He grabs a cloth to wrap a wound, takes the rifle, and follows Grunner to the fountain. About to shoot him, a sea creature attacks. He pushes it off and aims at it, but Grunner points a gun at him. The man doesn't give up, threatening the creature to make Grunner lower his gun. Grunner asks what he wants, and the man says it's obvious. Grunner agrees to let him stay in the lighthouse after the man lists supplies he can share and says the creature is harmless, proving it by calling it like a dog, and it obeys. Before leaving the cabin, Grunner names the man Messi. They gather as much food as possible. Messi tells Grunner he doesn't believe the last watcher died from sickness. He thinks he was left in the cabin and taken by creatures, and Grunner is partly to blame. Grunner just says they need to go because night is coming. Days later, Messi's sleeping in the lighthouse when the creature licks a burn on his hand. Grunner says he slept for almost 2 days. They go upstairs to count bullets and talk about the creature. Grunner can't really talk to it, only give orders, like it's a dog that comes back no matter how mean the owner is. Messie's amazed, saying maybe these sea creatures evolved alone to survive. Grunner doesn't like the talk and takes him to the balcony, explaining the creatures hate light. Messie asks why Grunner didn't leave on a ship that came 4 days ago. Grunner says if the world was so great, why did Messie leave it? Messie says Grunner can stay, but he'll signal any passing ship. Grunner laughs, saying no trade ships come here, and the lighthouse was built just to spend money. Time passes as Messie tries to start a new life. Exploring the lighthouse, he hangs a hammock and finds an old diving suit in a chest. He marks days on the wall and gets friendly with the creature. At night, Grunner tells him to bring the gun to the balcony, where torches are lit and the lighthouse glows. Grunner, fully geared, says the creatures are coming, and to fight, shoot only when they're close. Killing a few is enough since they eat each other. Their creature, on the upper balcony, makes loud noises, and Messie wonders if the monsters are attacking to save it. When the creatures arrive, Grunner fights them, but Messie gets scared, backs inside, and faints. The next morning, an angry Grunner wakes him, saying he won't live with a useless person, no matter how much food or drink they bring. He makes Messie fetch water, and he does. But when he returns, he sees Grunner being too close with the creature. That night, Grunner gives Messie one last chance and takes him to the balcony. But when the creatures come, Grunner goes inside, locks the door, and leaves Messie to fight alone. In the morning, Grunner opens the door and sees Messie, bloody but alive and victorious. They start a routine. Messie does small jobs at the lighthouse by day, and they fight creatures at night. Messie remembers he came to the island for peace, but found a nightmare instead. He wonders why the creatures stopped attacking for 2 weeks. While collecting firewood, he picks up whale bones to carve figures. Messie doesn't get how Grunner can kill creatures yet be close with one. But he grows fond of it, naming it Aneris. One night, they play chess and forget to light the lamp. Creatures attack, nearly killing them. They barely lock themselves in the lighthouse to survive, though Grunner hurts his leg. The next morning, as Aneris helps Grunner's wound, Messie says they can't last long because bullets are running out. He goes to the beach, finds a necklace in the sand, and sees a ship far away. He grabs a flare gun from the lighthouse, but Grunner stops him, saying he can protect himself and wants no one else on the island. As Grunner lunges, Aneris growls, making him let go. Days later, Messie hears Grunner yelling and hitting Aneris. She runs out of the lighthouse. Messie follows, sets his rifle against a rock, and gently shows her a boat he carved from whale bone. Aneris recognizes it and leads him to a hidden beach spot with an abandoned boat in the sand. He tells Grunner, who already knew but thought it was useless. Grunner says if Messie leaves on that boat, he'll die from hunger or creatures. When asked about the boat, Grunner says it was from a Portuguese man who survived a shipwreck but was killed by creatures. The boat carried explosives, now waterlogged. Messie shows Grunner the diving suit he found, believing he can use it to dive for the explosives to destroy the creatures. Grunner says it's a hopeless task. The next day, Messie fixes the boat, pausing when he hears Aneris singing at the fountain. He joins her in the water. Grunner sees and gets mad. Back at the lighthouse, he throws the diving suit at Messie, saying he changed his mind. They take the boat to the shipwreck area. Messie dives in the suit, finds explosive barrels, and ties ropes for Grunner to pull up. 2 small creatures knock him down. He signals Grunner 3 times, but Grunner ignores him. Messie removes the suit and swims to the boat. At the lighthouse, they open the explosive boxes. Some are wet, but others are fine. They bury 2 rows of explosives outside, one close to the wall. Winter comes, snow falls, and a week passes with no attacks. One morning, Messie finds Grunner on the balcony, hand on the detonator, nearly frozen. Messi pulls him inside. 3 more weeks pass quietly. Grunner hits Aneris, thinking she warned the creatures, and plans a trap. That night, Messi stays by the door surrounded by lamps, while Grunner takes Aneris to the balcony and makes her sing. Wind blows out some lamps, and creatures rush in. As Messi shoots and retreats upstairs, Grunner tries to detonate the explosives but fails. He fights until Messi reconnects the detonator. When ready, Grunner pulls the lever, and the far row of explosives blows up, killing most creatures. Excited, Grunner ignores Messi's warning and pulls again, setting off the close row, knocking them out. In the morning, they check the damage. Grunner kills any surviving creatures, but Messi can't hurt one wearing a bone necklace. That night, no creatures come, but they hear Aneris' sad sounds from the beach. Grunner says he found her as a baby caught in a net, crying. He says she always cries a lot. The next day, on the beach, Messi sees 2 small creatures offshore. Kindly, he makes a stone circle on the sand with his carved bone boat in the middle. He returns to the lighthouse, where Grunner loads fake bullets to keep scaring creatures. Messi ignores him and watches the boat with binoculars. The next morning, he finds Grunner drunk and passed out. In a card box, Messi finds the woman's photo from the cabin, with "Love Love Love" written on the back. Messi realizes the truth: the last weather watcher didn't die, he's Grunner, driven mad by loss and loneliness. Messi erases the day marks on the wall, letting go of his search for peace. On the beach, he finds the stone circle empty. The creatures took the boat. Seeing a small creature far off, Messi places his torch in the circle and steps back, hands up to show he means no harm. The small creature approaches, and soon more come, including Aneris, looking confident and strong. The small creature tries to give Messi the bone boat, but a gunshot from Grunner ruins the moment. Messi begs Grunner to stop, saying the creatures are friendly. But Grunner yells at Aneris to return to the lighthouse, and she refuses. Realizing she won't come back, Grunner gets angry and runs to the lighthouse. Messi tries to make peace with the creatures, but Grunner shoots from the balcony, hitting the small creature in the chest. The creatures rush to the sea, and Aneris looks at Messi sadly before diving